escaping the matrix isn't something easy. Most people grow up, live, die as part of the matrix. And look, I'm not some Andrew Tate big fan, but the matrix is a real thing. Being locked to the 9 to 5 is a real thing. Being in a system which you don't want to be in is a real thing. These are all real things. And alhamdulillah, I'm just walking through the streets of Medina to the Asr Salah. So I've actually heard the adhan just recently. And I'm strolling through these streets, right? But look, I didn't grow up on these streets. I grew up on the streets of London, right? Not actually on the streets, but you get the point. I grew up in London, right? So what was the way of getting out the matrix? My parents spent a lot of money on my education. We're talking tens of thousands yearly, right? I got into King's College London, which was one of the best universities in the world, right? And I went to that university, but I didn't finish, right? I did most stuff remote, alhamdulillah. It was almost basically my university was all remote, and my high school was, alhamdulillah, an all boys high school. And so it was like 25k a year. My college was also obviously King's College London, expensive. How did I make the leap out of this matrix? That's the iqamah, alhamdulillah. I couldn't hear that iqamah, subhanallah, in the UK, right? I wasn't able to hear that. I wasn't able to live, subhanallah, it's not easy to live an Islamic lifestyle as somebody in the UK, right? Hayya ala salah. They're saying, come to the salah. Hayya ala falah. Come to success. The way that you make it out of the matrix is that, number one, fix your mindset. Put yourself in a position where it's very, very, very hard for you to fail, inshallah. Have determination, resolve, resolute. Does that make sense? Have a mindset, right? Which is like, inshallah, I'm never going to fail. I'm going to put 10 hours into finding something remote. Number one, I trust in Allah, and I'm going to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if he takes my soul in this land, for example, in the matrix, whatever, 9 to 5 in a non-Muslim place, right? Then I'm gonna go out trying. I'm gonna go out having made my intention that I'm getting out here, having taken the steps to get out, trying to take the steps, and I'm gonna grind, right? So number one is a mindset. Number two is finding something remote that works. This is something extremely, very, very important. Finding something remote, like finding something, getting into some sort of remote field, like for example, SMMA, or, remote copywriting, or even software engineering, which might be, a little bit longer. But basically, getting into something which you can make money remote. For example, I'm in high ticket sales, right? High ticket sales is a big field. Alhamdulillah, just in the past 5 days, roughly, 3 people in our program have got into nice high ticket sales roles, which will inshallah make them remote income, right? Obviously, if you want to find out more about our high ticket sales program, which helps brothers get into high ticket sales, I've been in high ticket sales for, the past couple of years, roughly. Just look in the description of this video. There should be a link to that, about our program. But anyway, high ticket sales is another one. Basically setting and closing, which is, setting appointments for high ticket products, maybe $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 products, and taking a commission. And closing is sitting on those calls and closing deals for those products, right? And there are loads of big consultancies. Like for example, one of the setters in our program got a role at a company making 350k a month, roughly, reportedly, right? So just think about it. They're making 350k a month, paying him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6k. Is that a big deal, right? So number two, find a blueprint that works. Scale that blueprint, work hard, fix your mindset. And when you've got a chunk of money, which may differ from country to country, and you're able to get the visa, even if it's just, for example, at the start, for example, a tourist visa, just get out the matrix, get out the 9 to 5, get out of a non-Islamic environment, and take the leap and work hard and make money. That is my advice to get out the matrix. Assalamu alaikum.